Namaskar to all my friends from a WFM community. I think while I thought I'll do a new topic today, but morning I received a call and we had a long discussion on utilization and occupancy based on my last video. So the question which was asked to me was in utilization. So there's possibly a company who has created a new formula of utilization because it's part of the associate scorecard, which is the productive time calls into HT or whatever the workload plus avail time divided by the shift length minus break, which is 9 hours of shift minus 1 hours of break, which makes it to the 8. So that's the way they have put in the utilization percentage as a target in an associate scorecard. And I think I have also seen in the various companies where utilization being considered as a associate parameter, performance metrics parameter. So today I think it's more of a discussion towards, is it right to have an associate's performance parameter having an utilization in it? Principally, and that's based on my experience and knowledge that I have, is utilization is an output metrics which has been driven and which is an outcome of the various inputs lever. Various inputs levers is your volume, your AHT, your number of associates on production floor, hours being delivered, how have you plotted those people and utilizing it. Now, when you look into this, some of it is controllable and the non-controllable factors from an associate's perspective. As an associate, he does not have a control on an idle time. He does not have a control on the shift in which he has been plotted. He may not have the control on the pattern of the volumes, correct? So he may be doing an hours delivered there. So principally, that's where I believe, and that's where the discussion happens during the interviews too. What is the right way to utilize? So first thing I believe, and I think I'm open to have that discussion with some of the business leaders or the industry leaders in the workforce management space to take their view as well, that utilization is ideally an output metrics, and we should not have an output metrics as a goal for an associates, because it also includes some of the non-controllable factor. In better way to have some of the input metrics as a performance scorecard, that will be a better idea. For example, you can have the HT, then you can have maybe if it is an RPH, you can say the responses per hour, connects per hour. Various companies use various stuff. Then you can look into the hours being delivered by an associates, expected to be delivered by an associates. Correct. And then we can also talk about the breaks, we can talk about the ACW, we can talk about the hold and wrap, so various things. But that's where I feel that utilization cannot be a target to an associate. Utilization primarily a target either for a workforce or for an operation leaders, not for an associate to drive. Feel free to share your views, comments on this. And I'm happy to have a long chats about it with the industry leaders, but that's the knowledge which I have gained in a couple of years. Apart from this, utilization can be manipulated or inflated by an associates if you keep it as an output metrics, because I may deliver the less hours, and if you're using the actual delivered hours, because I'm using more of the breaks, I can reduce my denominator. Well, the numbers of calls in AHT still remain the same. If I start doing that, I'll be able to inflate my utilization percentage as per the formula which we discussed in the previous video. So what do we do in this scenario? So different people, different approach to solve for the different problems. And to do so, I think one of the ways that you look at the actual delivered hours or actual login hours or the target login hours, whichever is higher can be utilized as well. It depends on a company to company, a program to program, depending on what we wish to drive as a behavior. So nothing wrong and right, but I believe that's as a WFM we should always focus on an inputs rather than the output. Output is it's a machine, correct? Garbage in, garbage out. If you put the good material, you get the good result. If you put the bad fruits, you'll get the bad juice. So it's the plain and simple that logic. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much, guys.